know me like the Lord knows me. You don't know me like my wife knows me. Or my children. Huh? You don't know me like that. Amen. Amen. You don't know me like that. Huh? But for the grace of God. I got a whole lot of stuff bound up in me. Huh? Amen. And you do too. When you recognize God's in control, let me close. When you recognize God is in control. Huh? I said when you really recognize it. You don't have to try to act humble. He will humble you. I've said it down through the years. I would rather humble myself than have the Lord humble me. And see, and some of y'all act like y'all waiting on the Lord to humble y'all. When you ought to just take the time, that's why the word says, and let a man examine himself. That is a measure of humility. Because we are inclined to examine somebody else. Have I got to hear this? That's all John said. I got to close. That's what John reminds us here. No uncertain term. What he said, Jesus, in that fourth discourse, the word says he got up. The word says he rised up. Are y'all with me right now? And the Bible says that, and he laid aside his outer garments. And the word said, and he took a towel. Yes, he did. And they didn't have tablecloth back then. It was just a garment. It was just a strip of linen. All right? But the English transliteration gives us towel. Helps us better, amen, to comprehend the context and nuance of the text. Are y'all with me here? And so the word said, and he stood up. Yeah, he just stood up and he took a towel and he girded himself. And the old English image, the Eastern imagery there, is that he took the towel and he wrapped it around himself as if, amen, the girding was a part of their culture. So many of them in that context knew exactly what he was about to do. Here he is. He had full conscience of his isness. Then and now. He had full conscience of that. In other words, he knew who he was. The King of glory. The one who was and who is to come. Fairest among 10,000. He knew who he was. The one who was there in Genesis chapter 1. Clad in a proverbial plurality of unity. Let us make man. He was right there. When the sons of God gathered around God's glory in eternity past, he was there. When that angel that God created and tried to rebel against him and declared that he would take God's place, he and 2/3 of the angelic host was kicked out of heaven. That God, that Jesus was right there. I'm closing there, y'all. But the word said he took that towel and he girded himself. Then afterwards, the word says, and after he poured water into a basin. Are y'all with me right there? He poured water into a basin. Why didn't he pour another substance into the basin? It is a reminder that it is water that sanctifies us, but it is blood that saves us. Are y'all with me? He didn't pour blood into a basin, but he poured water into a basin. And if you notice, there is no soap involved in it. It is the power of the regenerative of the water and what it symbolizes in this context. Are y'all still with me there? He said, And he began, and the word says, and he began to wash their feet. He washed the disciples' feet. Now, here is the king taking on a slave role. Y'all with me right there? And maybe it wasn't another servant on post at that time. But Jesus didn't hesitate. The word says he just kneeled down. You can't see that in the text, but he kneeled down. Yes, he did. And began to wash the disciples' feet. In other words, these are those who were intricately involved with him. They were personal. They were attached to him. They had a personal relationship with him. Do y'all see the context here? In other words, there's no sense in washing and serving a person's feet, amen, if you are not sold out to their purpose and worthiness in their creative power by God. I got to close here, y'all, but the word is clear. He began to wash their feet. And notice he went on, and then he took a towel. Yeah. Y'all see that? He took the towel and began to wipe their feet, in which he was girded. In other words, he's saying something to us this morning. I close on this last part. He said, now if I, your Lord and Master, have stooped low enough on the slave level to wash your feet, then you, my brother and my sister, ought to be willing to wash one another's feet. Now, some of y'all got problems with that. Now, I can see it all over your face. But there's something about humility going on right there. In other words, if I can wash your feet, then I can wash your dishes. Y'all ain't saying that. If I can wash your feet, I can wash your clothes. If I can wash your feet, I can come by and help clean your house. Y'all ain't saying that. If I can wash your feet, I can go by the cleaners for you. If I can wash your feet, oh, y'all ain't saying that. I can check your cupboard and see how many groceries you got in there. If I can wash your feet, you ain't got to tell me to call me if you need me. You don't mean that no way. But no, if I'm really in need, you gonna know a little bit about my need. Have I got a witness here? Because I'm close enough to wash your feet. Have I got company right there? Now, if you saying I can't do that, brother preacher, I can't really wash somebody's smelly feet. I don't even like washing my own feet. Y'all missed me right there. But let me tell you something this morning. If you say that, brothers and sisters, you're simply saying you got religion to a point. I love you to a point. I'll do this for you to a point. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I'll help you to a point. Y'all still ain't saying nothing. In other words, I'll come by and pick you up to a point. You ain't helping. I'll lend you lunch money to a point. But after a while, my pride gonna kick in. And I'm gonna get tired of handing you out money and helping you every day. But having somebody in here outside of me been helped beyond measure. And the Lord gone way beyond the call of duty to help a wretch like me. When I was sinking, deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply, staying within, I was sinking to rise up yes, you will. God bless your heart. If you humble yourself in the Lord will elevate you. Yes, he'll do that. Won't he do it? And he'll elevate you without swelling your head. Huh? Come on, somebody. Somebody know what I'm talking about. You've been elevated in other capacities, right? Yes, you have. The doors of the church broke. Have you ever worked with somebody on a job? And Lord have mercy, they got in line to receive a promotion. And all before then, y'all were thick and thin. Huh? Sharing lunch, cutting for your head down. And as soon as they got a little promotion, the first line supervisor, then all of a sudden, they can't talk to you though. They ain't got time to ride with you, can't go to break with you. Can't do lunch with you no more. All the time. Pride got in there. Alienated you in that relationship. They got to the point where they can't handle the position. Amen. And you take that same context and bring it over into the church world. And some folks, y'all ain't with me, will let one little position turn them, amen, to a sweet, humble, from a sweet, humble, loving Christian to a prideful, arrogant, amen, can't nobody talk to, auxiliary leader. Now, there's something wrong when you can't get along with nobody. There's more than one group of folks telling you that you're too headless to work with. Wow. Y'all understand that? All right. Then you might want to start looking in the mirror. Because everybody ain't wrong. There might be one or two of them in there that got something against you. But all of them ain't wrong. Humbleness, humility, brothers and sisters. We come to this table, we've been coming here down through the years. And it ain't changed some of us one bit. We just as mean. Amen. Slightest bit of provocation. You know, when caught aside. In the church. You know why? Because all of us, including me, still have that old nature. And we still have the propensity, amen, given the opportunity to be some of the worst folk you ever want to come in contact with. And we're on our way to heaven. Anyhow. History's greatest act of humility found in our Savior. The king took on the role of a slave. I know we black won't like that slave stuff.